shall we make a start then? So I am using this gorgeous little fella. Oh my word, you have begged and begged and begged, and here he is, and he will not let you down. He is awesome. He's gorgeous. I am using him as a robin, but I'm also using him as something else, because it doesn't have to be a robin, you know. He's very versatile, this little fella, and he's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. If you want this, be quick. That's all I'm saying, because so many people have asked for this. It's going to go, and it's going to go quick. It really will, and I can see why. So I put my little robin there out of the way. And I'm also using the postage rectangles. I love this set. It's just fabulous. And of course, you can make it smaller as well. So you could make it into a square if you wanted to, especially this one in the middle, so that you could actually use it as a postage stamp, say, sort of size, you know, as a square. Very clever. I'm also using the nested scalloped and plain stitch squares. I'm using sentiments from the Christmas is Coming, the designer collection, because they're just brilliant. Now I'm also using some older stock as well. So I'm using the log slices. I'm also using the In the Garden embossing folder. I adore this folder, and I don't use it half as much as I should, because I forget what I've got. You know, I've got so much stuff that I forget, and I went through my embossing folders the other day and I thought, I'm going to use that. I am definitely going to use that. So that makes an appearance, as do the petite petals. I'm using the essential edges, and then I'm actually using some just this little die here out of box kit 4, just for some extra little leaves, and that's on my last card. Okay, so that's everything that I'm using, but primarily I'm using the robin. He's so gorgeous, he really is. So what I thought I would do, I'll just bring my things in, is show you the die set first, and then show you the cutouts, okay, and then we'll put a robin together. Okay, so these are your die set. Now there's 21 dies in here, and you won't believe how small some of them are. Literally diddy tiny, but every single one absolutely, totally and utterly useful, needed. They're brilliant. They're just brilliant. So you've got your branch. Okay, these two little snowflakes come separately. All right, I haven't used those in today's cards, but they are a perfect size to use with this robin. I just haven't used them in this demo today. So most of the others come joined together. Okay, if you want to leave them together as one and run them through as one, of course you can do that, especially if you're die cutting on white card and colouring it in yourself. If you're using sort of, you know, brushes and inks and things to colour white card and make your own robin colours, that's absolutely fine. For me, I separated them into easy to use combinations, if you like. So I've got my robin body here with one foot, and these two little pieces here and this little piece here, don't throw them away, because this is his nose, his beak, and these are his eyes, and this is one of his feet. So this is the other foot and his main feathers on his body. Okay, these two little pieces are your snow. If you want to cut them in brown, you can use them to add some sort of texture onto your branch, so that it looks like you know, a bit more knobbly on your branch, so that it's not sort of smooth. Then we've got his little hat and his sort of fur rim and his little bobble. Okay, and then you've got your holly leaves and 2 sizes of berries. All right, so I've left those all in one because it was easier, and then I just cut them all in green, but then I just used some small pieces of red card and just cut the berries just in red. Okay, so you know, it's entirely up to you. And then this piece here is his sort of his red breast, if you like. Okay, so that's your die set, and as I said, there are 21 dies there. You might not think it when you get it home, but there are, trust me. So I cut it out and I thought I'll put one together because I actually need a robin for one of my cards. So I thought what I would do is go through how it goes together. It's easy because they're tiny bits. Some of it is a little bit fiddly, but totally well worth the time you spend putting it together. So I've got my branch. My branch is sort of sitting on its own really. I've just got my 2 pieces of snow that I will add to my branch in a little while. I'll do that last because I want to do the bird first. Okay. Now then, I have actually got 2 of the same feet there, and the feet are actually a little bit different. So let me just see if I can find... I think I used, when I put the other one together yesterday, I think I used the wrong feet. If I use different colours, then I can use the different ones. Right. I don't really think it matters. The feet do look different, but if you use the wrong ones, I really don't think it's going to make that much difference to your card. So just so that we use the different ones, we will do it properly. Okay, so I've got my robin, and this is my main feathers that go across the back. All right, so I'm going to put that down first. So I'll just put my feathers across the back here. It really is as simple as putting a jigsaw together. Okay, so that's my feathers across the back, and you'll see I've used 2 different shades of brown so that his body sort of stands out. It really is a good way of using all these scraps up. All those scraps of card that you've got with different colours and different shades of brown and different reds and things. It's an awesome way of using those up. So then I'm going to use his little red breast. I'm going to add that on. Said I was going to do his beak first, didn't I? Never mind. So I'll just put that on here, like so, and you'll see it all fits together beautifully. Can you see? How cute is that? He's so cute. So that's his little red breast. And then I said to you that these little circles and this little triangle bit here, don't throw them away. This little triangle bit is actually his beak, and I nearly threw these away. So it just goes to show it's worth sitting down, looking at your pack, looking at the back of the pack, and actually working out which bits are which, so that you don't throw anything away that you actually need. Okay, so add his little beak on there, like so. This is so cute. I put his hat to one side for now. Now I'm using the bigger circle for his eye, alright? But I want his eye to be black, okay? So what I'm using is Lisa's black sparkle pen. So I've coloured my little eye black, alright? And then my smaller dot, I'm going to just see if I can make it white rather than just cutting out a little dot just in white. I might not use it, but we'll see. So I'll just colour that. That won't come off my pen now. Okay, and then I'm going to add the eye onto the bird. Okay, and the eye will go across the breast and the top feathers. Well, that's where I've put it, and I think it looks spot on. So that's his little eye. Don't worry about the glue will dry clear anyway. Okay, see, he's coming to life already, isn't he? And then if you want to, you can add the little teeny bit, or you can just use a white gel pen and just add a little dot of white if you want to. But as we've got the little dot, we'll use it. Okay, isn't he cute? I just think he's really cute. Look at that, isn't he gorgeous? My little Robin. I'll wait for it to focus. Isn't that cute? So then I'm going to put his legs on. Now his legs are a bit fiddly, but it's easy, but you just need to just take a little bit of care with it. Okay, the picture on the front doesn't really show you which foot goes where, so I don't really think it matters, and I don't think it matters if you use the same foot. You can see they're different. If I lift it up slightly, I don't want it to go out of focus. Can you see that they actually look a little bit different? So this one's got a longer piece on the back, and this one's a lot shorter. So what I would do is I would use this one as his back one and this one as his front one. You don't have to. You can use them whichever way you like, or you can use two the same. I really don't think it matters. Personal preference and how you interpret it, to be honest, I think is absolutely fine. So I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of glue on there and a little tiny bit of glue on there. And then I'm going to add my feet onto my little bird. And again, I don't think it matters on positioning. It's exactly how you want it to look. Okay. But adding the feet just gives him personality. Okay, so then we've got his little hat and his little fur rim and his little fur bobble. Okay, so I'm just going to add my glue on here for the bobble, and then a line of glue along here for that little fur rim. Again, don't think it matters which way round. I think there is one end is narrower than the other, ever so slightly, but it will fit the shape of the hat, so you'll be able to work out, you know, which way is the right way. And then his little bobble of fluff on the back of his hat there. And then all we need to do is put his little hat on his little head. So I'm just going to add my glue to the robin's head as opposed to the hat, and then put that down there like so. You can position it however you like, however far down, however far up, entirely up to you. How cute is that? Okay, so there's my little robin. So then I'm just going to put a couple of my holly leaves together, and I want to use, I think there's 3 sizes here. So there's a very large, a middle and a small one, and I'm going to use the 2 smaller ones for now and just put the other one to one side, and I'm going to use the larger of the berries. Okay, so I'm going to glue the smaller one slightly on top of the bigger one, like so, and then I'm just going to put the berries on top of that little leaf set. And if you want to put little sort of marks on your berries where you think the centre of the berries would be, you can do that. I think I did that on one. So like if you want to add sort of little black, you can do, don't have to. And then I'm just going to add the snow to the branch. Okay, if you want to cut these more than once, you can add more snow onto the tree if you want to. So I'm just going to put a little bit of snow on the back of the branch there. And like I say, if you want to do snow all the way along, of course you can do, just cut it 2 or 3 times. I didn't want to use it all the way along, just wanted to use the 2 bits that it comes with, just to show you what it looks like. So then my other bit is going here, like so. So then I want to add my holly onto my tree branch, and I'm going to put it about there, I think. So I'm going to put my glue on the branch, and then I can just put the holly where I want it and know that it's going to stick. Okay, So there's my holly on my branch. I'm going to take it off that card quick, otherwise it'll stick to the card. Okay, so there's my branch, there's my bird, and then I can use these two pieces on another card at some point. Okay, so those are my little pieces. But you see how quickly that came together. You know, it's so easy to put together. It's not a complicated die set. It's small pieces, so it's a little bit fiddly, but it is so worth it. And I mean, just look at him. He's so cute. He's so cute. So my first card, I used the log slices in the background, okay, and I've just lightly brushed over them with this is gold wax patinas, just dry brushed them. I've cut my sentiment from those Christmas sentiments, and then I've used the postage die set to cut my frame, all right, and then my little robin is going here. So what I need to do is put my branch down. I'm going to glue my branch in place because my branch will sit flat, and then I will add some 3D glue gel onto the robin so that he sits a little proud. So I'll just go all the way along here with my glue, and then that can sit along the bottom there like that. And I've 3D'd this frame. I've used 3D glue gel on this just because it's easier than using the pads, because obviously I'd have to cut the pads down because this is quite narrow. And then my little robin is going to sit on his branch like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put 3D glue gel here so that he's actually glued to the back piece of the card rather than the frame. All right, so I've just reached my 3D glue gel, and then I can put plenty on so that he sits high enough so that he's sort of above that frame. And then I won't have to add any glue to the actual branch, so he can sit. Just make sure I position his feet on the branch like so. Job done. How cute is that? I just, honestly, quick Christmas cards. Once you've made, if you've got a production line going and you've cut all your pieces out, and you've made all your robins, putting these cards together is so satisfying. It really is satisfying. It's fabulous. It's gorgeous, don't you think? So that's my first one. Now my second one, I thought, oh, I'll be brave. I'll do a shaker card. I must be mad. So what I've done is I've cut my square using those nested and stitched squares. I've cut a white one and a green one, and then I've used those edge dies to cut sort of a hill shape. I've used two of the fir trees. Didn't show you those, did I? Used two of the fir trees, and the one sits behind this hill and the other one sits in front of it. Okay, and then I've made my frame, and I've put my acetate already, and I've put my pads all the way around. Now obviously it's easier if you've got a strip of 3D foam, but I don't make many shaker cards. In fact, you'd be lucky if you see another one, to be honest. I really don't make that many because I find them, I don't know, they're a bit fiddly for me, so I don't make many. So it's not worth me buying a roll of 3D foam tape, because if I buy a roll, by the time I come to use it, all the sticky will have gone. But all you need to do is make sure that you butt up every end to the piece next to it, so you've got absolutely no gaps where your shaker pieces are going to fall out. Okay, and I don't think I've got any gaps. Time will tell, obviously. And I've cut the 3D pads in half so that they fit on this frame, because I didn't want a really fat frame. I just wanted a sort of a narrow frame, so cutting the pads down was the easiest option. And you can see I've sort of got a couple of little gaps that I've filled, so that there's hopefully no gaps at all when I add my shaker element in a minute. That's that last piece. Okay, so before I put this down, now I have brushed this with my anti-static bag, and I know it's left a sort of powdery finish on the acetate, but once you add I'm using mermaid tails, once you add those in and you've shaken it about a couple of times, I think it'll move that dust off there anyway. So I'm just going to add my mermaid tails in here first, and these are ages old. I think this was one of the first sets that Lisa bought out. Okay, so I'm using those. I know some of them will get stuck behind the tree. I really don't mind. It's just the effect that I'm after. So I'll just put this down here like so, and keep my fingers crossed that I don't have any gaps anywhere on that frame. No gaps. Yay. See, I said they'd get stuck behind the tree, didn't I? But never mind. It all adds to the effect, I think. So then I just want to put my little robin on the front, and as you can see, I've already put one together, and he's going to sit there. Okay, so let's put him down on my, shall I 3D him? I think I will, you know, just so it looks a bit different. Okay, so just add that down there, and then a little bit on my leaves, and a tiny little bit down here, and hopefully it won't show. A teeny weeny bit down there. Pop the lid on, and then add him down onto my card like so. So I mean about quick Christmas cards. So then all I need is my sentiment, and again I think I will 3D that just so that it sits proud on that acetate. I've never used acetate as much as I have since Lisa bought this out. It's brilliant. I love it. Why have I never used it before? Do you know why I've never used it before? Because there's never been one this good. There's never been one of this quality that works the way this does. Fabulous. So I've backed my sticker sentiment onto the same card that I used for the hill inside the card, and I thought that sentiment just really summed up that card. I think that's really cute. So there's my second one. Quite like that. Quite proud of that. So that's my second one. And then I thought, I had already thought about doing a bluebird. So again, 6x6 card, and I've used the nested and stitched squares to make my frame, and I've stuck that down flat onto the card. All right, and then I thought this is where my in the garden comes in. So I thought, well, I'll make a matten layer, and I'll use lemon because it sort of fits my colour scheme, and then I'm going to 3D these two layers on top of that square. Okay, so I've already added my pads. So that's my lemon matten layer, and I love the spring type colours in this card. I just think it's so different to a robin, but so beautiful. And again, I've cut my square and then put it in the embossing folder, and I've put it in the embossing folder. I've actually positioned it where I want to pick up which parts of the embossing folder I want to pick up. So, you know, that is the beauty of actually having smaller squares that you can use inside your embossing folders, because then you can position your square that you want to emboss exactly where you want it. Okay, so that's going on the top there, like so. Now, if you saw my little box of bits, you will have seen blue and yellow pieces. So, it's my little blue tit. Isn't it cute? So, the dye that I used out of the box kit was for the leaves on the trees. And all I've done is I've used the little dye that gives you the leaf branch, and I've literally cut it right down the middle. And so I've split it, and then I've attached it to the back of the branches so that it's got leaves on the branches. So they're just the right size for that. And then these are made from the Petite Petals, and I'd used a piece of card that I'd used shaving foam and inks on, and I've cut those out and added them. And then I've got little centres, so I've got loads of these cut out that I've just taken out of a bag this morning. So it just goes to show, keep them all, never throw them away, and they'll always come in useful. So then my little blue tit on his little spring branch is going down here. So let's put him down, and we will 3D him as well. Okay, so let's put my 3D glue on here. Now obviously I've got a little bit more space here because my flowers will give me a little bit more surface area to add my 3D glue gel down onto. So you won't see that behind those flowers. Okay, so let's just add my birdie down here, like so. And then I've used the bold phrases for my sentiment. And again, I've gone with blues to match the bird, but I've used a brown die cut because I didn't want to use lemon. I wanted it to be a little bit more obvious that there was a shadow on that. So I've just used a brown instead of lemon. So if I just add a little bit of 3D glue gel down on here, because if I've 3D'd everything else, then I might just as well do the sentiment as well, mightn't I? So as it looks the same. So I just go smaller amounts and pick out the bigger places on the back of the sentiment just to add that 3D glue gel down on, and then it hopefully won't show on the other side. Just that last little bit on there, and a teeny weeny bit on the B, and then add it to my card up the top. Now that looks totally different to the two robins, but equally as fabulous, and you will have so much fun with this little die set. Honestly, it is gorgeous. It's one of my most favourite sets that Lisa's put together. It's absolutely fabulous. So there you go, 3 cards, totally different, but honestly, it's just, I can see so many birds in so many different colours, and all I did here was I cut the blue feathers, and I cut a brown feathers, and I just cut the brown in half, but I sort of did a jagged edge on that cut so that it didn't look like a straight line, and just added it on top of the blue. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you taking 45 minutes out of your day to come and see what I make, and I hope you enjoy it. So have a fabulous week, everybody, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye now.